Hello everyone. Usually, in chess videos, we are used to watching two super grandmasters battle it out. But today, the story is quite different. On one side of the table, we have the world number one, the legend, Magnus Carlsen. On the other side, we have a local player rated 1904 ELO, Nurassyl Primbetov. We are at the FIDE World Blitz Team Championship. The significance of this match lies in the massive 1,000 ELO point difference. For the opponent, sitting across from Magnus is a dream come true. For Magnus, it's just another day at the office that he needs to win. Let's see what strategy the best in the world uses against a much lower rated opponent. Does he play aggressively, or does he slowly suffocate him? Let's jump to the board. Magnus Carlsen starts with the white pieces by pushing the pawn in front of his king 2 squares. His opponent responds bravely with the Sicilian Defense. He's saying, "You might be the world champion, but I came to fight." However, Magnus immediately wants to push his opponent out of theory. Instead of classic knight moves, he makes an interesting choice by pushing his edge pawn. This isn't the computer's top recommendation, but the goal is to break the patterns the opponent knows. He's saying, "Come into my playground, there is no memorization here, just pure chess understanding." Black pushes a pawn to lock the center. Magnus then makes an interesting decision. He gives a check with his bishop and trades it for the opponent's knight. He damages Black's pawn structure, but in return he gives up the very valuable bishop pair. Magnus knows that in closed positions, knights can be more effective than bishops, and he builds his entire plan around this strategy. Now we come to the most critical lesson of the game. Magnus pushes his central pawn, locking the center completely. There are no open files anymore. The maneuvering war begins. Magnus starts dancing with his knights to improve their positions. While black is unsure of what to do, Magnus plunges his knight right into the heart of the opponent's camp. Please pause the video and look at this knight. In chess literature, this is called an octopus knight. Why? Because this knight has settled deep in enemy territory and, like tentacles, controls all the surrounding squares. It cuts off communication between all of black's pieces. It is almost impossible for the opponent to kick this knight out, because he lost his light-squared bishop early in the game. Magnus identified this weak square with the precision of a surgeon and planted a piece there that will never move again. Black's position is now paralyzed. Strategic dominance has been established. Now it's time for the finishing blow. Magnus pushes a pawn on the queen side to tear that area apart. And now, the magician takes the stage. Magnus Carlsen sacrifices his queen right here. Yes, he leaves his queen hanging. But hold on, this isn't a permanent sacrifice. When the black king captures the queen, Magnus gives a check with his knight and wins the queen back immediately. But why did Magnus do this? 1. The black king is now naked. The pawn wall protecting it is gone. 2. Black's pieces have lost all coordination. 3. Magnus is now up a pawn and has entered a completely winning endgame. This sequence was calculated like a supercomputer, a clean simplification operation with zero risk. Entering the endgame, Magnus is up material, but the real danger is the insecurity of the black king. The opponent tries to resist, but Magnus's knights and rook are hunting like a pack of wolves. Magnus doesn't rush. First, he brings his rook to an open file. Then he weaves a net around the opponent's king with his knights. The black king is trapped in the corner of the board. Magnus's knights are suffocating the king step by step, and the final move arrives. Checkmate with the rook. Look at the board. The black king is in the corner, with nowhere to run. Magnus's famous knights and the rook finish the job.